thing, it's what I do the best. I fill my mattress, pay my taxes, then I blew the rest. And it's okay to do your thing, but just don't do the least. I quit my boss and cooked that sauce and fed that to the streets. Sliding it like a wet flow, already fried from the get-go. Alligators look like gecko, everything I do they echo. Big facts, my bank on big man, my drip too wet, that spit can. Yo, swap me like Q-tips, hold that there like dip can. No rehearse, need no reverb, hold your lip, don't say 3 words. Quick trip to get that lick, broad tree fur if you prefer. Quick ride, no time, I'm in there. She clockwise, real good skincare, no TikTok for that. They know that love don't live there. I can't roll dice on your plan. Red Rover, I don't hold hands. Get fortune from my foresight. Investment brought me 4 bands. Don't roll rage, I get we'll wheel all by your forehead. Them city John be like he lit. Them country girls be like go ahead. If I ain't that man, then I gotta be more than human. How you mean? Funny how the people back then who was hating on the kid always talking about how you clean. Put a little gas in the blunt and I don't pass broke. Just please be cool, but I can't blame ya. I won't shame you. I probably wanna be me too. It ain't no thing to do my thing. It's what I did the best. I copped that crib and bought 2 chains and then I hid the rest. And it's okay to do your thing, but just don't do the most. I put my friends in that old Benz and took that to the coast. It ain't no thing to do my thing, it's what I do the best. I fill my mattress, pay my taxes, then I blew the rest. And it's okay to do your thing, but just don't do the least. I quit my boss and cooked that sauce and fed that to the streets. It's no thing, no sweat, I ain't really worried about it too much. Slight work, light work, not work, I ain't really do much. Get it in, ship it out, pivot route, back corner, end zone. Hit her with a best friend, I don't really know about a friend zone. Real time, real talk, fake, can't really match that. Put it in the insurance, Uncle Sam can't really tax that. Get the game, learn the game, play the game, sell the game, all that. Never let them tell you what you can't do, gotta change all that. Feeling myself, they be feeling me too. Baby, don't fight the feeling. I've been so high that I'm tryna scale the roof. I'm tryna bite the ceiling. They be on bullshit like a zoo fly. I be too fly to participate. I need everything for the everything. If I with you, get a different rate. Got me up, got me typoed. If you're thinking me glucose, winning in it ain't too close. I be flying out to a new coast, and I'm acting like it ain't a big deal. Really, cause it ain't a big deal. 4 freaks, I'm a 5th wheel. I was born winning, I'm the still. It ain't no thing to do my thing, it's what I did the best. I copped that crib and bought 2 chains and then I hid the rest. And it's okay to do your thing, but just don't do the most. I put my friends in that old Benz and took that to the coast. It ain't no thing to do my thing, it's what I do the best. I fill my mattress, pay my taxes, then I blew the rest. And it's okay to do your thing, but just don't do the least. I quit my boss and cooked that sauce and fed that to the streets.
I'm addicted to the good life. Yes. Yeah. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all, to the edge of it all. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah, susceptible now, before the moment flies. Ooh, so tell your good lies, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Ooh, susceptible now, before the moment flies. It's not a problem, no, 'cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah, and nothing can stop me, no, 'cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah, susceptible now, before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Susceptible now, before the moment flies. Yeah, yeah.
so basic. They say I'm plain Jane, I'm just your average lane. The shit I do so basic, man, we're not the same. I'm trying to build a plane, you trying to ride away, ayy. Surfing on the web, wasting your time away. So basic, they say that I'm so basic, wasting all this time, but some will try to say it's patience. Don't fake it, your actions or your statements make more empty promises while they groom your replacement. It's entertainment, right? At the club every night, think your future is bright. International flights got you thinking this a life. From row seats at every fight, and you never can keep quiet. If you want it, then you buy it. They say I'm plain Jane, I'm just your average lame. The shit I do so basic, man, we're not the same. I'm trying to fly a plane, you trying to ride away, ayy. Surfing on the web, wasting your time away. Money, cars, and hoes, you know how it goes. I know you like the beat, but I listen to the words. I'm not flashy, but there are times I know I drip. Like the past me, so what you knew you must forget. Need GPS, this navigation must be broke. If I could change some things I would, don't say you won't. Still work this fuck job, hard work no days off. Shoot for the moon, and if I miss, I'm still with the stars. They say I'm plain Jane, I'm just your average lane. The shit I do so basic, man, we're not the same. I'm trying to buy a plane, you trying to ride away, surfing on the web, wasting your time away.
Basic niggas get with basic women and have basic kids, that's tasteless.
You are now tuning in to TNJ Radio Show.
What's cracking? Oh man, somebody was playing with my thing.
I was like, man, is that the voice of God?
Man, that had to be my daughter Gigi or Cameron. They was playing my thing. That was embarrassing. I had all my keys set up. It was like, hello. Oops. What's going on, man? This is another episode of our show, man. My name is LeBron J. One of the outlaws. But
man, William A. Thomas in the building.
Yeah, man, we really excited, man. This is we up in our the 40s or 50s. We like 42. This might be our 43rd show being consistent. Ain't that? That's great. We showing growth in right now. Let's take a little time, man. Let's share this video out. If you on here, share it. Hit that like button. If our audio is correct, can you hit a 1 in the comments for us? Hit a 1 in the comments. And yeah, let's share it out to some people, man. Man, how was your weekend?
Man, it was great weekend, man. There's a lot of sports stuff going on over the weekend.
Oh, that's a whole fact and nothing but a fact.
Oh yeah. So we'll get to that in a little bit, but over here in Pittsburgh, we finally are getting the winter coming. And it's hitting hard. Been cold out here, man.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm looking to the left, trying to turn my TV on and see what sports is going because I might have to go live again after this, man. But I see a storm is coming up there in New York now. Is that going to hit you this weekend?
So I looked at the AccuWeather and it looked like we're supposed to get a little bit of snow. I hope not. I always want the snow to go away. The people in New York, they deserve it. So, I'd rather them to just get it.
Wait a minute. I thought y'all wanted this. Y'all kept on talking about global warming and all this other stuff. I thought y'all wanted the winter.
I wasn't talking none of that. I was over here just enjoying the long Indian summer, as they call it. It's good when you're in the winter and it's like 45 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Like being in Georgia or something.
It'd be a little bit warmer than that, but yeah. If it's 60, if it's below 60, they bring out the triple fat goose.
Oh man, excuse me. I remember a few years ago I was down there in Atlanta. It was MLK weekend, which that's actually coming up this weekend. But it had like a quarter inch of snow in Atlanta. And man, they basically shut that city down.
Yeah, man. I bought the hype with this before I moved down south. I went to Atlanta. I think the first time I went to Atlanta before I moved down here was like 2010, I think. Man, I went down here and I was over at a family friend's house and I ordered a pizza and I go outside. It was cold. I was like, man, they lied to me. So I just went further down south. I picked the right spot though. It's not too. It gets really hot in the summer. But in the winter, it's nice. Like you gotta, you know, put the heat on at night, and during the day you gotta put the air on. It's just really fickle like that.
How hot does it get down there?
When you mean like in the summertime?
Summer.
It never really hit 100, but it will hit it'll be like 98, 95 the whole summer. It just don't let up, just sunny the whole summer. I hate like now because it's get really humid, and typically when it gets humid, that's when like tornadoes start coming. You know what I mean? Like it'll just drop dramatically. And I remember my mom was down here, and she's scared of the South Philly with the South weather. And man, I was trying to pump her up, like, "Yo, you don't worry about it, man. We don't get those type of storms down here." Soon as she get down here, there's a storm, man. It was at night too. The scariest thing when you're at night when there's a storm, I don't go to sleep. I just stay up looking out the window. I'm the storm tracker here.
Oh, you ain't on your Jesus mission, huh?
Man, my mom was like, she thought I was asleep, and the tornado hit Albany, Georgia, where it's probably like an hour away from me. Man, it destroyed that area, but it definitely went through here. I didn't get come close to me, thank God. But man, my mom was like, "Why would y'all go to sleep with that?" She was like, "I was sitting there in the tub." I was like, "No, it wasn't even that bad." But and then like when I first moved down here, I was in a tropical storm, and a hurricane. It was like a hurricane category 1. But that last one was that hit down here was a category 5. I got the heck out of here. I woke up in the morning. I had it on my phone, and I woke up in the morning, and I looked at it, and it was coming through Panama City, and they destroyed Panama. I said, "Get in the car and let's go." I drove up 75, went to Atlanta. So I ain't about that life. Now I'm thinking about getting well, I'm not thinking about. I'm gonna get me a generator just in case.
And y'all be on the next level. You be burning garbage down there in your backyard.
Nah, but I see people do it. Like all around here, they just be burning. I never saw that happen before, except for down here. I'm not saying they don't do it up north, but I never
Hey, I mean, they do it just in certain areas. Go to Latrobe, go to Apollo, PA. Those places that are outside of Pittsburgh. Even when you get close to the Pittsburgh airport, they get to doing those type of things. Them areas, the dump trucks, the garbage trucks don't come all like that, I guess. I don't know.
Interesting.
Shout out to, you guys who live in those areas there.
Man, you ever think about moving to the country?
I would love it. I think I'm a country bumpkin at heart, man. I just want to be able to, walk around a bunch of grass, say hi to my cows, say hi to Sally the pig.
What's your dream house?
And something big, got a pool, got space,
Square footage.
In fact, it ain't even really about the house. It's about the acres. I need 5 acres. minimum.
So you want reparations? Shout out to reparations. Let's get this acres. Let's get that 40 acres and a mule. Man, let me tell you something, man. My wife's friend. She got this big house, man. We went over there. Oh man, it's like I think like 3 to 5 car garage. She got the pond right next to where they fishing. I remember we dropped our kids off there to go on date night one time, and they in the back. They fished. They did a whole life, man. They got a lake back there.
Wow.
And like their house, they're like the ceilings is so high. Like if you lose a balloon, it's over. Like you got to hire somebody to get it. And I think we're sitting there watching The Mandalorian, and I'm just looking around. You look outside their little patio area. They had the swimming pool there with the neon lights in it down below, and it was like indoors kind of. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm about this house. That's what I want. I'll be cool.
That sounds amazing.
Man, you wouldn't. I was like, man. And the crazy thing is, we could have got something like that. We just was thinking too small.
Sometimes some of them houses is crazy when you get to the point where people's walls start moving. You start thinking about the bookshelf moving, bat cave in the back.
Oh man, I saw something like that. Shout out to my boy Chaz, man. His brother-in-law got $1 million, like $1 million crib, and he got one of those shelves that go into a secret room, it's called a panic room. Oh my goodness, people living down here, bro. They living up there too, but I'm just saying, people getting that money. Now definitely going to talk about that too. I mean, that's a good segue, but we're going to leave it. But is making a 6-figure income enough in today's economy? I wanted to kind of touch that. But real quickly, man, I see down here Georgia won the championship over Alabama. I am so excited about that because we got some Alabama fans. Maybe we could text him and call, and he could tell us how he's hurt, to the show if he's around. But man, they're just so arrogant, these Alabama fans down here, man. Because I guess Roll Tide, I guess they just keep winning. But I'm just so happy that Georgia beat the University of Georgia. Now, then we got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now oh man, they come after me on social media, man. Because I tell the truth. They don't want it. You can't handle. I'm gonna put that on my mixer. You can't handle the truth. I'll put it on my mixer.
You public enemy number one, man.
Oh man, you can't say nothing about who's the three? At least 3. Obama. Can't say nothing about Obama. Can't say nothing about Beyonce. You can't say nothing about Mike Tomlin now. You can't talk about him, man. Where you live at, man? Do you know where he lives?
Who? Obama?
Mike Tomlin.
I got an idea.
Where? Like what city? I mean, like what part?
It somewhere out there, near, I guess, the Squirrel Hill area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I remember I used to when I used to work at a customer service place. I remember we used to look them up. I could talk about it now, because I worked there. But I remember we used to look up names of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then I remember I looked up Snoop Dogg's house because he had DirecTV, and he had his one room called the Doggy Den. That was like his entertainment area or whatever. But I remember we serviced Jerome Bettis, Alice Faneca. I was all up in it. And then I used to work for this lawn care company. I remember we was on the North Hill. I was servicing the North Hills area. This is way back in the day. And I remember we serviced Alan Faneca's house. Alan, it wasn't the biggest on the block, but it was like a dentist that had the biggest house on the block. So he was pretty modest. He had this big jacuzzi in the back, though. I guess nurse his wounds.
So you've been getting a lot of flack about this stuff regarding the Pittsburgh Steelers. What have you been saying about them?
Oh Lord. Okay, Oprah. I'm gonna call you Topra. Man, listen. I'm just saying. Mike Tomlin, man, someone needs to. Well, can't say it now because they made the playoffs because they played. They added a freaking extra team to go there. But I've been saying, I'm like, look, if they didn't change the rules, he wouldn't be in there. Like they needed the football gods to get him in there. And I'm saying for the last 11 years, he has not been winning the playoff games. His last notable playoff game he won was like what 11 years ago when he won against Baltimore.
Hmm.
And also, I was saying because I just I don't think people should get comfortable in the position. You know what I mean? If you get comfortable, then you stop caring about urgency. You know what I mean? Like I don't. And another thing I was saying was this is what everybody just flipped out on me on. 8-8 is not a winning season. 8-8 is not a winning season. A winning season is I made the playoffs. We play to win the game. Ain't that true?
Absolutely.
This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game.
Right. And even Mike Tomlin said the same thing. He said we had 16 chances to win and we failed. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, you losing to Detroit? Detroit, it was 0-10. And this is what I don't like about you Steelers fans. This is what I don't like. What I don't like about you Steelers fans is anytime they win, you forget about you're not focusing on getting yourself better. You're just happy you won. You know, when I was saying this when we won the championship in what 2009, I'm like, everybody was praising Ben Roethlisberger coming back. He had a lot of comebacks that year, and we had the number one defense. But I was telling people, I said, you need to understand what's going on because they're losing leads. You're just looking at the number one stats. See, these analytic guys, they focus on these numbers, and sometimes it's situational football. We was going to lose that game in the championship. Fitzgerald they came back and scored, and if it wasn't for Roethlisberger making us come back, we wouldn't have won. So that's all I'm saying. I'm saying look at the flaws when you win. Nobody focus on when they win. You know what I'm saying? You're doing a lot of things wrong. So next year we didn't make the playoffs, right?
Right.
We didn't make because what I said, they couldn't come back now because remember Roethlisberger was one of them years he was hurt because he got on that bike, so he couldn't come back. But we were losing leads. That was a big problem. That was a big issue. That's what I was saying. But everybody like, yo, you're a hater. So anyway, I'm like, man, listen, I call it like I see it, and it is what it is, man. But I could go on forever, but
now you said 8-8 is a losing season.
Yes. If you make the playoffs, I would call that a win. But you play to make the playoffs. Like you think when they go in the beginning of the season, when they go to camp in Latrobe, that they're saying we want to go 8-8 and not make the playoffs, and that's a win. Not in Pittsburgh, maybe in other organizations, but we are for 50 years we've been a winning organization. We should have higher standards than that. That's like the Lakers. The Lakers have a higher standard that they got to always make the playoffs. That's why they spend big money to get big players there. They can't afford to not do that. And then we talk about the finances. If we talk about the finances, if they keep losing, people stop going to the games, people start watching. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's going to lose millions of dollars. I mean, nobody give a crap about it though. And then here's my thing too. I'm gonna let it go because you got me all hyped now. Because I got me all hyped. Tomlin he came here what 06? He came here. You had that long. You had like 15 years to replace Ben. You knew this day was coming. You a championship team has a coach, a good coach, and a top quarterback. They coincide. A quarterback can win with a bad coach, but a good coach can't win without a good quarterback. Didn't think about that, and I really think he's banking on Mason Rudolph to take this to another level, and I don't see it, and I think most Pittsburgh fans don't see it either.
Mm. Yeah, that's a tough one there. As where did Mason come from?
I don't know, Oklahoma. I don't remember, but he ain't the one. We shouldn't put our long term memory on him because y'all gonna see all y'all Ben haters because we're all gonna attend Ben's going away party. His going away party is gonna be Kansas City. Now I'm the biggest Ben fan, but I know his going away party is gonna be next week. What they're gonna do is they're gonna lose. They're gonna play slow, and then at the end of the game, they're gonna try to make a run. That's what they do, and they might win, they might not, but I doubt it because I don't think Mahomes is gonna allow that to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like he's really good, and that defense is good, and we start off too slow. Our running game is not that great. Last game with dude is hurt. Harris, he got out the game and came back. He's hurt. I mean, he's probably going to play. He's definitely going to play, but the line ain't pushing up, and you know Ben's going to get sacked a lot of times, and then Ben's arm is suspect. He be throwing duds, and then they can't catch. I mean, I hope these people, man, you got to be realistic, man. I mean, I know everybody's happy that they made it, but and I'm gonna watch it. And don't get me wrong, I'm a Steeler fan. It may not sound like it, but they hurt me too much over the years. I got to protect my heart, man. Whew.
Man, what did you think about that game? Which Steelers game did you like the most? Because the Steelers had 2 games.
Oh, I didn't watch the Chargers game, man. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
I didn't watch it, but I mean, I watched the replay. Man, that game was intense, man. I understand why the Raiders won though, because if the Raiders would have tied, they would have played the number 2 seed. You know what I mean? So when they won, they playing the Bengals. That's a smart move, don't you think? Even though the Bengals are pretty good, but the Bengals haven't proven themselves in the playoffs. And that's one thing I was saying too about Tomlin. I'm like, Tomlin, like people don't understand. They don't. He never really had leadership. I mean, I ain't gonna say he had, 15 years. Obviously, you've been doing something right, but and this is not from me talking. This is from his former players. Like this, the team was established then. The leadership in every position was established. Like when he got there, Hines Ward was the leader, and he wasn't gonna let nobody, no young dude come in there and play games because they had a job to do. You see the leadership um when Jerome Bettis was playing, and you had Ferrier, you had I can't remember the linebackers, but Harrison was even the toughest guy then. You get what I'm saying? When they were and they were moving up in ranks. The secondary, they was tough. They wasn't playing no games. So you went from Hines Ward, where Mike Tomlin's new. You ever been in a new job and you might be the supervisor, but you don't know what's going on in the place. So you got to ask people. All right, so where's the cafeteria? Okay, so they're explaining this to you, and they calm everybody down when you speak. That's what happened on the first tier of Tomlin's position. You know, then you had Hines Ward. So it went from Hines Ward to AB to Juju to Clay. You see the leadership, how it went down? They don't respect Tomlin like that. And usually, like I remember I used to work in a group home, and I always had to do to get everybody's respect is I had to go to the top leader of the place, right? And if they could have been a cut up. They could have been like in there for beating people up and beating up the security, whatever the case may be. I get cool with him. I got the whole unit.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So I would focus on him. So if I was coaching, I would make sure I get like when right now Hayward is probably the toughest on the team, probably, or like Watts. You get cool with them, everybody gonna listen. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's not doing that, But Ryan Clark said there's an issue. Like there's a coaching issue when Claypool when they're running a 2-minute drill and Claypool is celebrating when there's 30 seconds on the clock. And you basically lost it down. That's a coaching issue. Anyway, this is my point.
Yes. Oh man.
I
You
go
was
on
telling
forever.
him, man.
Huh?
So yeah, you was telling them a little bit about why you mad. Just want the
Get me started, punk.
well here's a little bit about what Ben had to say about it.
We haven't discussed it, but I think, I would assume as a group you understand that, we probably aren't supposed to be here. We're probably not a very good football team. We're out of 14 teams I think are in, we're probably number 14. We're a double-digit underdog in the playoffs. So let's just go play and have fun and see what happens. Yeah, we're probably 20-point underdogs, and we're going to the number one team that's, I know they're not the number one seed, but they're the number one team that's won the AFC the last 2 years. Arguably the best team in football. We don't have a chance. So let's just go in and play and have fun.
How can you make your team?
You can make that.
Oh darn. I know he's being sarcastic, but I know he's backing up his mind. He's like, I like his Eminem move though. That's an Eminem move.
Tom Brady do it all the time.
I did. I like that. I like that. If they're going to win, it's definitely going to be on Ben. I hopefully the defense slow them down a little bit for the offense to start picking up. But I just think this is going to be a learning experience for the team to play Arrowhead in the playoffs. In the playoffs, that's a stadium. Yeah, I agree with you, Mr. Cito. I think so as well. I think Mahomes is going to get it done. He's a very talented guy. I just don't see. I just don't see Ben ain't the Ben of old, man. It's sad to see this, man. We see it a lot, man. With a lot of these players. We saw it with Michael Jordan, man. I remember one time Michael Jordan was playing it with the Wizards, and Paul Pierce blocked this shot like 3 times in a row, man. And then he went to the All-Star game. He didn't even get picked for the All-Star game. They had to give him the spot. I was like, oh man, he should have quit while he was ahead, man.
Forget about that. Someone had to give up their spot.
Vince Carter. And then he tried to go for a dunk and missed. It was like real short too. I was like, man, it's sad seeing these athletes get to that point, man. Like I told you, I always say like this. When you're young, your talent is here, and your intelligence is here. When you get to this level, about 27, 28, this is when the peak era it hits. Where the wisdom is up there and the athleticism, like Michael Jordan 91. Let me see, Kobe, maybe when he hit the 81 game, I forgot what year was that, 06? Or you had like what's his name? LeBron, 2012. But then your athleticism going this way. You so smart now. You got a coach because you can't do it. You know what I mean? Like you can't jump, can't shoot. And it's heartbreaking when you're watching someone their whole career and they can't do it anymore. Now LeBron's not there. Obviously LeBron's still dropping them points, but Paul Pierce did it. Dwayne Wade. I remember I went to Miami to see Dwayne Wade play, and that was horrible. Like I saw Kobe play. In Detroit, and he didn't have a good game at all. But he basically hit the game winner though.
Wow.
Yeah,
Was this one of the championship years or?
No, this is when they start sucking. Like they were bad. Yeah, this is. He wasn't himself. This is before he got hurt though. Man, I remember I saw LeBron though. That was epic. Like he came out to his own pretty much entrance, man. Like everybody warming up. This one he played for Miami when there was the Heatles, and there was like tip dunking, throwing out the backboard dunking. I see Ray Allen shooting threes in the corner. I got pictures and videos of all this. And then this dude comes out like 15 minutes later. He's running out there, and the whole stadium was waiting for him.
Wow.
He came out there. First thing he did, he like threw it out the backboard and did a tomahawk dunk. I was like, oh,
Man.
yeah.
Did he what does he do? Do he throw the rice or something or the chalk in the air?
The powder, but I didn't see him. I didn't see him do that there. I don't think he would have got the same reception there.
He didn't do the powder. Oh man.
No, I ain't see that. I saw Brooklyn play too. I'm telling you, this is what I'm telling people. When your team ain't winning and they ain't going to playoffs, them tickets are cheap. I went to like every game. There was nobody there really, right? I would be right behind the bench. I got pictures of it on my Facebook page. And I'm right behind the bench. I can hear them talk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, well, like Detroit never had a winning season. Now, what's up with the quarter or what's the guy that got fired from Miami? Everybody's up in arms about.
Flores.
You heard about it?
Brian.
Yeah. You heard about that?
Yeah. It's interesting because obviously he's black, but everybody just kind of went quick to make it a racial issue. Mm-hmm. And one thing I always think about with the NFL, okay, in the NFL, if you don't play for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you're a coach, your job ain't guaranteed the next week.
That's a fact.
Like they have a holiday for it called Black Monday. I think it's like it's like 2 weeks before the playoffs start or something like that.
Wow.
That's when they usually start doing all the firings and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't understand why people keep on rushing towards that. And now more information's coming out. In regards to it, he had issues with the management. He had disagreements over the quarterback, and with the quarterback is like LeBron. Like if they gotta choose whether to keep LeBron or keep the coach, they can always get a new coach. Can't get another LeBron. That's how they think. And the same thing with these quarterbacks. You can't there's not a big pool of franchise quarterbacks that are going to potentially take you over to the playoffs or the Super Bowl, whatever your goal is. So, if you ain't getting along with the quarterback, it's sad to say that you might not have a job. So that's the only thing that I know of. But a lot of times these situations, there's more stuff behind the scenes that we may not know about. Like he, who knows? He could have been flipping his boss off at lunch or something. I mean, how many people never liked their boss, ever not like their boss before? It happens all the time. How many people who are business owners didn't like their employees?
Mm-hmm.
Happens all the time. So
it's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
I'll just give him a shout out. Goodbye. I heard he was good though. Heard he was a good coach. What he got 8 for 9 in the last games, and yeah, he I think he was having Fitzpatrick in, and GM wanted the young guy in. He wasn't good enough. It sounded to me like Remember the Titans. You ever watch that movie?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, they wanted that other trying to think. Remember the Titans? That's where they had merged a segregated town or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah, I don't think it's the like a lot of people think it's a racial thing. I don't think it's a racial thing. Like you said, I think it's just a character issue, or a lot of times like Jerry Krause, for instance. Jerry Krause fired Phil Jackson. He fired Doug Collins, and they were both winning. Doug Collins got the Bulls to the Eastern Conference Finals like in '89 or something, and they fired him. dude won. What's his name? Phil Jackson won 2 straight championships, and remember he was like, I don't care if he go 82-0, he's out of here. You know, and that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying about Tomlin. Like, I just feel like there's a new Rooney in charge, man, and I just got a feeling like if we don't watch, we're gonna lose that great organization that we had. You know,
I mean, they're different people. Your kids are obviously different from you. You're different from your dad, your uncles, and all of that. And I think that people don't realize organizations change. Even the quote unquote Steeler way, that might not even exist anymore.
Yeah, I don't think it does. I think it's done. What's the Rooney that did the Rooney Rule that passed away?
I think that is Art.
Yeah, I think when Art left, I think the organization's different. Yeah, like it's hard to pass on a company to somebody, man. Women will try to die before their husband because they don't want to run the business. They'll sell it. I'm not saying it's up to that point, but you can see the culture change. So, like, I'm not the only one saying this. Ryan Clark said it. He played for them, Super Bowl champion. Hans Ward said a few things. You know what I mean? Like, it's different, and we all know times have changed, but even their culture, like, we used to be a running team and control the clock. They don't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's just different. It's just different. What about speaking of somebody who needs to lose the job? Oh, Ron Paul, man, exposes Dr. Fauci. I ran across this video. I want to play real quick, and then then we can kind of hit that up, talk about it.
Okay.
Not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
These vaccines are highly, highly effective.
Vaccinated people do not carry the virus, don't get sick.
They're really, really good against variants.
Everyone who takes the vaccine is not just protecting themselves, but reducing their transmission to other people and allowing society to get back to normal.
Get your first shot, and when you're due for your second, get your second shot.
When people are vaccinated, they can feel safe that they are not going to get infected.
No, I got to rewind that one back again. Hold on. What did you say? What did he say?
When people are vaccinated, they can feel safe that they are not going to get infected. They can feel safe that they are not going to get infected.
If you're vaccinated, you're not going to be hospitalized. You're not going to be in an ICU unit, and you're not going to die.
If you are
fully vaccinated, you no longer need to wear a mask.
Anyone who is fully vaccinated can participate in indoor and outdoor activities.
Well, I want to play this one more time. Did you hear the hypocrisy in this video?
You better say it louder for the people in the back.
Man, I'm going to play it one more time, man.
Not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
These vaccines are highly, highly effective.
Vaccinated people do not carry the virus, don't get sick.
They're really, really good against variants.
Everyone who takes the vaccine is not just protecting themselves, but reducing their transmission to other people and allowing society to get back to normal.
Get your first shot, and when you're due for your second, get your second shot.
When people are vaccinated, they can feel safe that they are not going to get infected.
No, I got to rewind that one back again. Hold on. What did you say? What did he say?
When people are vaccinated, they can feel safe that they are not going to get infected. They can feel safe that they are not going to get infected.
If you're vaccinated, you're not going to be hospitalized. You're not going to be in an ICU unit, and you're not going to die. If you are fully vaccinated, you no longer need to wear a mask.
Anyone who is fully vaccinated can participate in indoor and outdoor activities.
Wow. I know you got a lot to say about this, man.
Yeah, absolutely. First, let's start with the fact that information can change. The information doesn't change. It's just our understanding of it. So start from there. We don't know everything that there is to know. There was a time that people thought that the earth was flat. Unfortunately, we still have some people that probably still do think that the earth is flat. But that's neither here nor there. But Dr. Fauci, the one who said, "I am science." You remember that? He said he is science. It reminded me of that Star Wars movie when the Emperor is like, "I am the Senate." Then he comes with the lightsaber and tries to kill. Well, he kills a couple Jedi. But that's what it reminds me of, because when you start consolidating a lot of power into one individual, and then you remove the ability to be able to debate or have a conversation about it, that's what you're going to end up getting. And that's the situation that's going on, with him. There's no type of debate. So we've seen along the way, I think that if he just went through and, said, "You know what, I was wrong on, this or that. I thought this, and, we got more information, and we found out that this is the best way," I think people would be a whole lot easier on it. But instead, the way that Dr. Fauci is operating is just like as if we're all stupid. He never did or said anything wrong, and anyone who's disagreeing with him, they're just haters. That's what he's basically saying. He would probably never use those words, but he's basically saying, y'all just haters. You ever hear someone, people use that argument all the time most of the time when people just call people a hater, and not all the time, but a lot of it's because they don't really have a defense for it. So they just go to it. They're like, "You're just a hater." So,
hear it all the time.
Oh yeah. I'm like, okay, haters can be right also. Haters sometimes can expose a lot of the flaws that we have. Haters can haters can be helpers, But Dr. Fauci, every single time, like you've seen these different exchanges with him and Rand Paul, and they get up there and he, Rand Paul, he got his list. It's just so funny. A lot of times, if I really like popcorn, I'd be getting some popcorn because it's must-see TV. He's going down this list. He's like, "You did this. You guys did gain-of-function research. Here's the definition of gain-of-function research, and this is what y'all did. Here's this memo. Here's the the paperwork." And Fauci like, "You're just attacking me." He points and stuff like that, like "You're just attacking me." And his recent thing, he said that they're causing death threats. Now, just think about that, okay? When someone is pointing out different credible stuff, because the stuff that came out recently, these are his emails, which came out from a Freedom of Information Act, and they found out that a lot of this stuff they kind of knew where everything was coming from in the beginning. They knew it came from that Wuhan lab. But in the beginning, remember, they were dismissive. They were saying, "Oh, no, it came from what was it, a bat market or something like that." And they were saying people were eating bats, and that's how it got passed over. But they pretty much knew. They were funding it. And he's done everything except for saying, the NIH or whoever was at fault. Instead, what he did was, you're just attacking me. You're attacking my character. You're causing me to get death threats and, different things like that. And none of that ends up, coming towards the issue. And the issue is that at this point, this isn't someone who's mistaken. This isn't necessarily a matter of the information changing anymore or our understanding of the information. This is someone lying to you, and it's lying to the American public, lying to all of you to your face and telling you, "I didn't lie." Who you going to believe, me or your lying eyes and ears? So that's my thoughts on Fauci.
And the crazy thing is he's not even he like you said, he never answers any questions. He don't put any clarity on any statement because I don't think he want to further incriminate himself.
Yeah, should have been a lawyer.
Really though. Now I remember you were saying the CDC director. She was talking about the people who's actually died from the virus. I'm trying to play that video, but remember we was talking about that.
Yeah, well, let me read what she had said. In fact, let me see if I could get it on the screen real quick. There. As now it's like the cat's out the bag now. So if you look on here are the people. It says this is the CDC. That Walensky, she's the director of the CDC. Study says that more than 75% of vaccinated individuals who died from coronavirus had at least 4 comorbidities. And those are, I don't see them in the thing, but I know that they have to do with obesity. Let me see if I can find it. Obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, and the other one, I think it was heart disease. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, here they go. So these are the risk factors. People who are 65 years of age and older. Yep, immunosuppressed. Yeah, so but as you end up looking at these things, this is information that it's been there, because I've heard this stuff actually last year very early, and there's been data in regards to who's been getting hospitalized, who's been dying in 2020, and a lot of that ends up getting glossed over. And the problem is that by doing that, it ends up fighting against what they really want, which are these mandates. So let me put up one more graphic on the screen real quick. This is something that she actually tweeted today. So this is Rochelle Walensky. She is the director of the CDC. So this here is a comparison of the Omicron to the Delta, the Omarion, whatever we want to call it. But it's basically saying that there was a 53% reduction in risk of hospitalization, 74% reduction in risk of ICU admissions, 91% reduction in risk of mortality. Basically, they're saying a 91% less risk of death. This is the cat's out the bag. This over here is the Omicron, and a lot of doctors and smart individuals are saying that this is actually the end of the pandemic, because this variant is spreading so fast and so many people are getting it that it's going to end up kind of forcing a herd immunity. So take it for how you guys take it, but these are the numbers, and numbers don't lie.
I heard that rumor, but I heard that they were trying to hold off giving the vaccines to the public um, until they had Biden administration in there. Did you hear anything like that?
I didn't hear anything about it, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, the way that they were, talking about it, the way that a lot of things were handled with the economy, it was, in 2020, it was just like, hey, who cares about what goes on with the economy? Shut those businesses down, shut everything down. And I'll say in the month of March, that's when we had the least information possible, and that's when they said 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and this and that. But after that, all states, they did stuff one way, but there was one state that was actually out there doing things a whole lot differently, that in the long run ended up with a different outcome, and that's the great country state of Florida. So
Floridians. Yeah, I think it's a mess, man, because they really don't care about the American people like they say. They just want the power to do the things that they want to do. Um, the economy, when Trump was in here in office, they tried everything. They threw the kitchen sink at him, and it didn't work. They impeached him twice, collusion. They tried everything, and the economy was booming. And then this pandemic happens, and the whole time that summer they were sitting there saying if the Trump organization distribute the vaccine, we're not taking it. And then they had the ticker on CNN of the deaths scaring everybody, which it was a big deal. It's still a big deal. People are losing their lives. And then they get in office, and right now the economy is going down. I don't know if you saw this statistic, but key inflation measures hit a 39-year high right now. You know, I think you scare so many people that people's not trying to go back to work. You paid them, you paid people, and but now, like I remember you were saying something about the shortage. Like there's a shortage in certain things, so they try to sway the public to go a different direction. You know, um, for instance, right now, I think there's a shortage of testing equipment, right?
right, yeah, it's it's crazy because to go get a test, you have to pretty much wait a week at some places. If you go to the right places and you're willing to wait there for a couple hours, then you'll probably be able to walk in and get a test. But yeah, a lot of people are scrambling to get the test because a lot of people are getting hit with the Omarion at the same time.
And they changed their procedures. Before, if you had symptoms, you don't have. I mean, if you test positive for COVID, you didn't have to go to work for 10 days. Now they're saying, you can, if you get COVID, if you don't have any symptoms or you've been exposed to COVID, you don't have any symptoms, come to work. Before it was like, no, you can't come. You know, um, Fauci's now telling people to go to work because they know this economy is getting destroyed. It's pummeling. And their what's that? Bring America Back plan it fell through. Like there's nothing everything he tried to put through is falling through, and it's on his watch because he has the House and the Senate. You know what I mean? And I think they're really, I keep saying this, they are scared because people are fed up, and this midterm election is coming up this year, and this is going to break them if they don't pass anything. Somebody's going to tear him up during that next election.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because, what ends up happening with leftist mindsets is that whenever they're in power, they'll do whatever they want to do and try to get you to do it with them. You know what I mean? it's always about making everybody do what my idea is. And sometimes that can be good, but most of the time it's not. But when they're not in power, that's when if they don't get their way, that's when they're like, we want to change the rules then, because I should be able to do what I want. I just think that it's so funny. I think of two different situations where they're trying to change the rules. One of them is with the filibuster, which has been put in place to make sure that there's not only just the majority rule, because the majority rule that mostly happens in the lower house, okay, but in the Senate they have it set to where like, hey, you could have the majority, but you have to be able to get a little bit more to be able to block the other party or the other group from blocking what you're trying to do. And what they said, I've heard Schumer, Biden, Harris, all of them in the past, they said they want to keep the filibuster there because the filibuster, keeps, parties from just running amok and just doing whatever and just passing anything. But now that they're in power and they're not getting their way, all of a sudden they want to change the rules. And you think about what they want to change the rules about. It's about the the voting thing. So the voting thing, they want to change the rules once again. And what they do is they'll word it and say like no, they want to just take away your right to vote, when in reality people who kind of have half a brain to think about it are probably laughing, because all it really is about is saying like, hey, people need to, number one, the majority of people need to vote in person, majority of people need to vote and show an ID. And it gets funny because they start complaining about things about, like, they say like the voter ID stuff is racist, right? And they start complaining about it. But you look at the states that they complain about, in Vermont, New Hampshire, New Jersey, places like that are blue states. They've always had voter ID, but they don't complain about it there, but the complaints are more so in places like Georgia and Texas, or swing states like Pennsylvania. So you can see how they kind of they go back and forth in regards to how they're trying to do stuff.
They're trying to lump African Americans in with this and getting them, because the first thing that happened, if you get, it's easy to get African Americans excited about something. If you say racism, you say slavery, they're gonna set it off. They're gonna set this place off, right? But what they're doing is they're they're doing what they did with the feminist movement and the civil rights movement, right? They're trying to say, look, this group is messing your you guys voting rights, right? But they're sliding in the immigrants with that package. And if they and once they do that, they're always going to stay in power, because there's so many illegals here. And
Right.
they keep saying, and it's just African African Americans need to watch that, because they keep getting bamboozled on every policy that they say is going to be for you. It's not for you. It's for the other people. You know what I mean? Like, come on, they did an Asian hate crime. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they wasn't abused, but you didn't do anything for. Why didn't you do an African American hate crime?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And addition to that, it's also a slap in the face to the people who are, immigrants who are going through the citizenship process. They're sitting there like, like, hold on, I'm doing this, and some of them, if they end up, because I think that what they do is it's certain types of non-citizens that get the ability to vote. But either way, it's like, why would you even go through the process at this point? You might as well just stick with your green card, or if you don't have a green card, just hide out. They ain't going to deport you.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, it's all about staying in power, man. You know, they what they've been trying to do is trying to go outside of the system that we have. You know, like, come on, dude. Like, if you can't, everybody should have an ID, man. Like, how do you get your cigarettes? How do you get your cash your check at and I'm talking about the poor African Americans, because that's what we're talking about. You know, most people have an ID if you're working. You know, if you're working a job, unless you stole someone's ID. But you know, this is a non-factor. Then they're saying like there's big waits at these places when they vote and all that. And you know, well, my thing is like you still got to show some type of identification, man. You know, we don't. Who knows who's who? You know. But that's that. I don't know if they're ever going to solve that, but this is going to be an interesting year, 2022. Now, I want to ask you something real quick. When was the last time you did something? It was supposed to be new for the first time.
Oh man, you know, I'm at to think about that. So it's been a long time, and it's definitely a shame. But I'm gonna think about that. But what I was, you know, I was talking to someone about something. Now, what I'm about to mention, this was 20 years ago, and I would say don't do it. But I remember, you know, one time, a couple of friends and I, you know, we wanted to see what it'd be like to jump out of a second story window.
Oh,
and,
heck no.
Oh man. And you know, we all did it. We kind of hung down the window to try to get as far down as possible. But hey, you
I
come
hope y'all broke your ankles. How stupid.
man. You know, when you're young, you sometimes
And your XJ 900s.
But yeah, I mean, that was my first time doing that, and unfortunately, I had to do it in the future, so that kind of prepared me.
Let me say, I've been on this this quest, if you will, of doing new things. Maybe it's a bucket list thing. I got a keyboard that I got last Christmas that I told myself, I said, I'm gonna learn how to play this keyboard. Might even learn how to sing. You might catch me at a local lounge while you eating with your wife, and you're gonna hear me singing over there. But and then this year, because I never learned how to skate. I used to go to parties. I'm like, how do they learn how to skate this quick? You know, I don't know, but I bought some skates, and remember I said I was gonna do it. So I got some skates, man, and I'm getting balled up, man. I'm in the garage practicing. Getting balled up, man.
Okay.
Huh? What you say?
So that's why you got that black eye?
No, I fell backwards, man. The first time I hit my knee. Every day is like a scar. I'm about to give up on this stuff. But I'm getting a little better. But I mean, shout out to YouTube, man. I'm sitting there learning how to do it. But yeah, man. So I mean, I remember back in the day, I did go to some party, skating party, and you know, you have courage when you're out there. You seeing them flying by. You know, you're scared to go on the floor, and I went on there. I remember this dude named Mr. Quick, man. We call him Mr. Quick. He's sitting there skating backwards and doing all types of stuff and dancing in the freaking hip hop. And I was like, man, that looks so cool. But so I'm not gonna give up. What I'm doing is I practice like at least 10 to 15 minutes a day, trying to do the slight edge. If anybody know anything about that, you know, you do a little bit every day. But yeah, that's pretty much the last thing I did something for the first time.
Okay.
Thinking something?
When's the next time you want to hit the rink?
You say the rink? You mean the real rink?
Yeah.
I will. Once I learn how to do it, I'm gonna take the kids.
Okay.
But I want to be able to hold my own. I took my kids like to skating. Last time I went like 2010, but I didn't go out there. My wife was out there with them. I was sitting there watching, eating, walking around. You know.
Wow.
What about you?
Yeah. Couple years ago, and this is going to be something basic, but I'm gonna just say it because it ended up opening a lot of doors and mindsets. Whenever Robin Hood had came out, a lot of people were like sending their little invite things. People was on Facebook and they became Robin Hood recruiters and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I can get you a free stock and and so on. Anyway, I eventually ended up doing that. And, because I always wanted to be able to invest in the stock market, but I was kind of scared to or didn't know how. So I remember, when doing this in the midst of the pandemic, because a lot of people started doing things that they never did before, So I started off on there and just doing little trades here and there. Was able to make a couple $1,000s, and
How much is the biggest amount you lost in the stock market?
Stock market. I don't know. I never had I didn't have a net loss. I actually got out, while I was ahead. Um, there there were ups and downs, but I'm saying like I didn't lose any net money.
What type of trader are you? Are you still trading?
Well, I have not been trading, but what I was doing at the time was I was trying to day trade. But for anyone who ends up trying to do stock trading, there's something called the pattern day trade rule, and they only let you do a certain amount within 5 or whatever the amount of business days and stuff like that. So that was kind of slowing my roll down a little bit. So I was doing what's called swing trading, which is whenever you buy, you buy the stock on one day and you trade it on another. It's just more spread out than the day trading. But it was a fun experience.
All right, I'm gonna ask this, and then we can. I got 2 more questions, and we could end it. All right, because you ain't okay. So you did that for the first time. You did the trading.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do black people play the victim and don't use personal experience?
Yeah, I mean, we've, some, not all, but I guess you want an example, or
Yeah,
yeah,
I know I use it.
I'll say
I wanted it to be open ended.
I'll say in the big picture of things, okay. When you're in a position where you're not, you know, taking responsibility, for your situation, overall. Like I know some people that will, say that we might be in this position financially and blame it on, whatever it is, the system, the white man, whatever. Um, whether those things are true or not, somewhere along the line, you have to take control of what you can take control of, and well, you have the ability to control what time you wake up every day, by setting an alarm. You have the ability to control what time you go to bed. You have the ability to, read a book if you can read. If you can't read, you can learn to read.
But they're not complaining about that. What are they complaining about?
Money.
That's
usually the the biggest complaint. But when I was talking about reading though, is that some of the things that you learn, like how, I was just talking about stock trading, a lot of that stuff it's in the book. Fred Green, he has a a pretty amazing book. How to, I think it's how to, get started investing in stocks. It's available on Amazon. Just look for
All
Fred.
right, but we you would agree that it costs money to have get in the stock game, and most people, especially the millennials, don't have I think like 40 to 52% don't have an extra $400 to for say or for an emergency, let alone to invest. Would you agree with that?
I agree that that's true, but as far as the reasons why, I think that it's more so we're in a market where, first off, jobs are more abundant. The baby boomers are retiring, so there's more jobs. There's a lot of people who don't want to work anymore because of fears. So there's more jobs. So there's opportunities. Just from, you don't even have to be a new entrepreneur and go into business. You can just go get a job and get extra money. Then we're in a situation now where there's the whole gig thing. You can have a job and you can, on the side, you can deliver pizzas, you can do Uber, you can deliver other food, you can, do all sorts.
You're talking about deliver. What if most people don't have a car?
Well,
it's a maintenance, and then also you got to look at too.
You can do that on a bike.
No.
Yeah.
Not what city you talking about?
In the city of Pittsburgh, you can go.
Well, the city of Pittsburgh is not the microcosm of the world of the United States, man. Have you been down south? It takes 45 minutes to get somewhere.
Hey, that's exercise.
You see a bunch of cars on the side of the road down there, man. Broken down.
And down south, all you gotta do is you take a string, a hook, go catch a fish, and bring it to the side.
Yeah, it's somebody's property. They'll kick you out of there. Like a shot.
Yeah, that's true.
But piggyback on that, so I wanted to ask you that we could wrap up. Is making a six-figure income enough in today's economy, especially when we have a inflation issue? We have child care is going higher than ever before. It's like going to college, having your kids go to this rinky-dink daycare. What's your thoughts on that?
I would say that it depends on what your expectations are. If you're expecting to live a lavish lifestyle, then the answer in a lot of markets is no. If it's California, it's a heck no. New York, it's a heck no. Maryland, it's a heck no. Maybe some of the smaller places you might be able to live a little more comfortably, but you're not going to live lavishly. Inflation has hit. So, six figures now is not the same as what six figures was, 10 years ago. So that 100,000 doesn't go as far when it costs $35 to $40 for two people to be able to eat at Five Guys. As far as what it can do is if you're in a relatively low cost town, then you can live a lower middle class life, and if that's what you want. But all this time, all this stuff about six figures, meaning you get the nice car, you get the big house, you're basically on the upper part of the middle class, and you're going into rich and all that. That's done.
Yeah, you probably couldn't even because if you look at California, across the United States, the average homes are $374,000 now. So most people couldn't even afford the mortgage. And so to piggyback on what you're saying earlier, a lot of people can't invest unless they invest in like a 401k at work. Which that could be a dangerous slope because you can't take the money out really. A lot of the average person stay at a job for 5 years. And then right now we got that what's the great resignation where people want to go home and stay home. So it's gonna be an uphill battle, but like you said, inflation is really stealing people's money, and I think one mistake that a lot of people do make, like you said earlier, is that we need to learn how to invest because that's where the money is being made. But you got to have some money to play around with. Like you got to have a surplus, and but yeah,
I think that one of the things that's interesting, and it ain't going to happen, but for people to be able to have extra money, they might have to give up certain luxuries. They might have to give up a lot of their entertainment, food, fast food, things like that. But if everyone did that, then I think it would have a short term hit on the economy. Eating out and things like that, because it's going to end up affecting those businesses also. So, of course, it's like a catch-22. For us to have success, we can't have everyone end up doing the same thing. So it's like the poor will always be with you.
Well, shout out for the Cash App. We just received TNJRadio. Now, what I want to say about that is because they're cracking down. I think a lot of more people are going to get audited because a lot of people are getting paid off Cash Apps and Venmo and all those other outlets. And now they're starting to say you got to report that income. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that one of the problems is that especially with Cash App, that was initially billed as a thing to where you can send money as a gift or whatever to different people. So it's like when people were using Western Union to send money, or people were going to Walmart to send money, that you weren't reporting that, reporting what you received, from that. So in that sense, it's not right. Now, Cash App has another side that does business. They have two sides to do business. One is the Cash App for business part. The other part is Square, the credit card swipers. So I think that what they need to do is I think that it would be fair for the government to kind of differentiate what is the difference between people sending money to people versus business transactions. And that's where there's going to end up being a problem, because what they're saying is we just want to get access to all of it. We want to get your bank account. We want to see all your transactions. So that way we can go and determine. I don't think that that's right. I don't know if it's legal or constitutional.
Yeah, I think we're in trouble, man, because and I think we need to go back to cash, even though cash is trash. They're still in our wealth, but we might have to go back to when what they did in the 1930s after they messed up the money then and took us off the gold standard. A lot of them grandmas start putting the money under the the bed or whatever, because they took us off the gold standard. They took us all because they want to monitor you. Anytime you go to the bank, they can monitor all your transactions. This is all about monitoring. They know where to find you. They know your car. Like if you went to California and you're from Pittsburgh, or they know where you're at all times. And the sad thing is, like, they're using fractional reserve banking to make money. As soon as you make that deposit in an account, they're giving it to somebody else to make money. They're investing. They don't even keep their money in the banks, but we're taught to keep our money in these banks. And I believe that, like, there's some fine line with if you keep putting certain money in the bank, that could be money laundering. Like, they got so many techniques to keep us boxed in. And I think the main thing is the main thing. Like, we need to hurry up, just like the wealthy people do. Is when you get the cash, you got to get an asset. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't report it if you get rid of it. It's called currency. It's current for a reason. Like, it's like water flows. You got to get rid of that money, because if you don't, they're gonna take it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want it sitting. So we have to really be educated on that. But at the same time, these brokers are stealing people's money too. Anytime you trust somebody, and they said they know how to make you money, you got to watch that. You have to You know, you see all these athletes losing crazy money because they're just focused on their sport and their craft, and they're giving their money to somebody, and they get done, and the broker's rich, but you're not, and they got another client. You know, you have the all these people go to these jobs and say, "Oh no, as long as you, do the rule of 72 and you put your money in here," and it's not proven yet because the 401k started in the 1970s, and the only one who can benefit from that was the baby boomers, and it's based off the economy. So a lot of people, I know this lady down here, she took her money out, or she's looking at, no, she ain't take it out yet, but she's looking at it. It's going down, down, down. She's getting nervous because she wants to retire. You know. So anyway, we could go on forever, man. Is there any last things you want to say before we wrap up?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say if you have any resources, definitely, just looking into those things. Definitely study. That's how we can end up learning new things. Get on YouTube. Basic Economics by Thomas Sowell. And treasure trove of information if you want to learn how money works. But I would say this: get y'all's minds right so you can get your money right.
And that health too, huh? So I guess I can't eat this donut right after the show, huh? I gotta not eat that, huh? Maybe you're right.
You could always lick the donut and then just go rinse your mouth out of it.
That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. They got that cocaine in that, man. But all right, man. Definitely hit that like, hit that subscribe, and also hit that notification bell if you haven't already, so you can see when our videos coming out. And we'll see you next week.
Right. Peace.